Video analysis has played a huge influence in my coaching journey so far. From having access to a VO and also delving deeper into analytics, I wondered how far we could go. From highlighting our strengths and then implementing coaching sessions around those strengths to seeing it come to life, what a great feeling. Cutback crosses reign supreme. Analysis and data clearly was impacting the team, but how could I impact individual players? Being able to build relationships with your players and having a strong bond and trust certainly helps. Here you can see Ali's clips and targets that we set for him. The purpose of this process was to show Ali the finer details and how he can improve. Obviously his goals and his assists, but also his general confidence. We then took it out onto the pitch. Players will trust and believe in your process if there's an outcome, and that's winning. It's never a one-man job, and it's always a collective, whether that be the team or the team away from the team. It was an absolute pleasure to work with them. It was time to test my newfound love and appreciation for analysis. What better than to represent your country and do it there? The gaffer Paul Fairclough and his assistant Anwar Uddin put their full faith in me, and I was never going to let them down. What was really clear to me during the England C camp was the players want detail. They want to know how they can improve. It is my job then to present data, to present evidence through individual meetings or team meetings. I then took on the role of the manager of Berkhamsted Under-18s. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Here's why. I'm absolutely certain in how I want my teams to play, how to look, and how to feel. I want opponents to suffer. So the use of video combined with my coaching sessions really paid dividends. As there was little contact time, I used a VO and set up meetings weekly after games to review. This created a really strong learning environment, and I know I had to put some foundations in place. We started off with out possession, how we would like to look, but then I gave them some ideas through Tactical Pad on some patterns, some attacking plays. Whether I put these in the WhatsApp groups or had individual chats or unit chats, it was really clear players were starting to grasp an understanding of in possession. From the very first time I met my players, I really wanted them to be curious. I wanted them to ask questions. Having these Zoom meetings with the analysis in front of them really allowed them to ask questions themselves, but also teach each other. This was really powerful. And again, we had such a successful season, one of the best in the club's history. We reached the first round proper of the FA Youth Cup. Look how happy the boys were. And so was I. The club asked me if I would oversee a transition period for the first team. The trouble is we only had 4 days. Myself and Aaron Morgan ran a training session, but most of the time was spent making phone calls and making sure players knew their roles, and what an unbelievable day it was. Now on to one of the most prestigious opportunities of them all, and is with the Pakistan national team. I have Stephen Constantine to thank for his faith and his belief in me. I had accepted a dual role as an assistant coach / head of analysis. I was tasked with having a look at opposition's weaknesses and their strengths. I would watch multiple games, and this would take hours and hours. The job of an analyst is to filter what is best suited to present to the players, what is needed, what is required, and what can be discarded. I faced some challenges initially. For example, there simply wasn't enough time during the camp to present all this information. Language barrier was also an issue at times, but I did have translators, and I also learned how to telestrate. This created really clear pictures for players and strengthened their knowledge and understanding. One of my key takeaways in this role was the importance of me getting to understand fully the manager's beliefs, his styles, and his way of doing things. That way I could present my information. I also mentor different players, whether that be from academy football to professional football. This is Tom Wilson-Brown, who's currently at Leicester City and is now on loan at Swindon Town.
I think, like you said, well, it's like having things in common with people as well. I think the more you speak to people and get to know them and like get to know them more personally, then I think the more honest conversations you can have with them, and you'll feel more comfortable having.
Imagine the conversations that can come out from you building those foundations, you know? But again, it takes time, Tom, and you've got to be able to do that in every type of situation that you're in, when you're at a training ground, when you're in the canteen, when you're walking around.